Can you grow your own coffee beans? Can you cultivate coffee beans in your own backyard? It just depends on the circumstances and your level of dedication. Serious coffee aficionados have no problems grinding brand new whole beans for each beverage. Additionally, some people find that roasting their own beans at home adds an additional layer of dedication. However, nothing compares to actually producing your own coffee at home for complete dedication to the bean-to-cup process. Are you interested in learning about how to grow your own coffee beans at home? Keep on watching our video and don't forget to comment, like and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. Now let's get into it. What is the ideal soil for coffee plants? Arabica coffee plants prefer soil that is heavy in nitrogen and has a pH of 6 to 6.5. Many horticulturalists advise adding organic matter to the soil, such as dried blood, bone meal and manure. Additionally, it's critical that the soil drains well. Iron in the soil is beneficial to coffee plants as well, frequently associated with low pH-loving plants. For example, coffee plants in Hawaii that are grown on volcanic lava rock mountains naturally receive this benefit. Your soil mixture will get some iron if you add some volcanic rock dust to it. How much water do coffee plants need? It's important to drink the correct amount of water. The natural habitat of coffee is in the shade of trees at high altitudes in temperate climates. That means they will require regular watering, but will dislike having wet feet. The soil should be damp but never saturated. Your soil will retain water and keep a low pH by adding some peat moss, and compost also aids in nutrient uptake and water retention. Add some coarse sand or basalt rock dust to the soil to ensure it is porous. Make sure the soil is properly moistened and that the water drains completely from the pot. The plant should only require one heavy watering per week when kept indoors. However, nothing can replace having a good relationship with your plant. Even indoors, the climate, humidity, time of year and age of the plant can all have an impact on how much water it needs. The container's size is important as well. If you notice that your coffee plant needs frequent watering, it may be because the roots have grown too large for the container and need to be replanted in a larger one. As you can imagine, light is obviously good for coffee plants, but not direct sunshine. When grown outside, they prosper in the shadow of a tree canopy. By selecting a bright area with diffused light, especially close to a window that receives little direct sunshine, you can try to replicate these conditions indoors. Your coffee plants may benefit from grow lights to survive through the winter's shorter days. The Arabica coffee plant can reach a height of 40 feet when grown naturally on its own. They can, however, develop into a large and fruitful bush and adapt readily to life in a pot. By pruning, keep the size under control. The harvest. A well-cared-for Arabica coffee plant can eventually yield between 2,000 and 4,000 cherries every harvest, or roughly 4.5 to 9 pounds in optimal outdoor growth conditions. 1 pound of beans is produced from 5 pounds of cherries, and each cherry contains 2 beans. You may calculate how many Arabica coffee plants are required for a serious coffee drinker to become self-sufficient. 1 to 2 months after fertilization, little green berries will start to develop. The green berries won't be ready for picking for another 7 to 9 months. Instead, they'll start to turn red. Use caution when picking, because not all berries will change color simultaneously, despite having 2 beans inside each one. After picking the fruit from the tree and removing the beans, roast the fruit and beans to make your very own handcrafted cup of coffee to start the day. Even a single indoor plant might not yield enough beans to brew a single pot of coffee, but the actual point of growing your own coffee is to participate in the process. No matter where the coffee beans are grown, It will immeasurably increase your appreciation of the time and work that go into a cup of joe, as well as your enjoyment of the beverage itself. How to grow Arabica coffee indoors. The good news is that you can grow an Arabica coffee plant in optimal conditions indoors. The success of the coffee plant depends on more than just the controlled temperature. It also needs the right amount of light and humidity. The coffee plant is also stunning, with glossy dark foliage and fragrant blooms that many compare to jasmine. Additionally, it is a fantastic topic of discussion. It may take up to 5 years for your Arabica plant to flower and produce its first coffee cherries. Therefore, patience is essential when planting one. You'll need to order some green coffee beans from the most recent harvest if you want to start coffee plants from seed. You could notice that some of your green coffee beans begin to sprout after an overnight soak in water. You'll observe a tiny white protrusion from one end of the seed. Wait for them to sprout while keeping them wet. You'll need to have patience because it may take up to 2 months from the time a seed first germinates before it actually sprouts. For greater results, you can also start your plants from ripe coffee cherries. But unless you live in a place where coffee is grown, it might be difficult to find coffee cherries. It is most convenient for most individuals to buy a young coffee plant from a nursery. Repot the plant into a big container once it is around 6 inches tall. If there are several seedlings, gently separate them after they have been soaked before putting each one in its own pot. Give coffee plants plenty of space since they want to root deeply. Coffee is one of the most consumed beverages in the US, whether it's for the energizing caffeine-fueled morning pick-me-up or the enticing aroma filling kitchens, cafes and restaurants. Many Americans begin their days with a freshly made cup, whether they are at home or on the go. However, the cost of store-bought coffee and specialty coffee shops may add up over time. Due to this, we are providing coffee drinkers with some useful advice on how to cultivate their own coffee in the convenience of their own homes. Did you learn something new about growing your own coffee plants at home? If so, don't forget to give this video a like and let us know what you'd like to see from us next down in the comments. Bye!